What's up, y'all? It's your boy Nana Faithful. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone is having a blessed, legendary week. It is Super Bowl week, and we have two more Super Bowl previews to do today and tomorrow. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. 30 years ago today, January 28th, 1990, Super Bowl 24, Niners versus the Broncos. Now, the game would start by the Broncos getting the ball, and the Niners D would force a Denver punt, actually, force a Denver three and out, and pretty much the route was on after that. The Niners would end up taking a 7-0 lead when Joe Montana found Jerry Rice for 20 yards for the touchdown and a 7-0 lead. Now, the Broncos would actually come back, and in a game that we all know how it ended, it was relatively a close game at this point. The Broncos would come back with their own scoring drive when David Treadwell would kick a 42-yard field goal to make the score 7-3 Niners. The Niners, of course, would go 3 and out on their next series. That would result in the Broncos only having one play as Bobby Humphrey would fumble and it was recovered by Chet Brooks. And the Niners would take a 13-3 lead when Joe Montana hit 408 legend Brent Jones for a 7-yard touchdown. Mike Kofor would miss the extra point, so the score would remain 13-3. Pretty much at the end of the first quarter. The Niners D, which had a crazy game, forcing 8 turnovers, would force another Broncos 3 and out. And the Niners would continue their onslaught, a pure just offensive. Just you can't say Eddie how much we were cooking on all cylinders at this point. Little did we know this would be Joe's last Super Bowl, but he did save his best for last. As he Tom Rathman punched it in from 1 yard out to give the Niners a 20-3 lead. Then the Broncos would, I think this pretty much becomes a 3 of the Broncos going 3 and out. But this time the Niners would be stopped on their own 3 and out as well and would be forced to punt. The Broncos actually wouldn't go 3 and out their next drive, but again, would be forced to punt. And with 40 seconds remaining in the first half, Joe would throw his third touchdown pass of the game, his second to Jerry Rice for 38 yards, and to make the score at halftime 27-3 Niners. Broncos would get the ball back, but wouldn't do anything, and that would be the score at halftime. The Niners would be forced to punt, going 3 and out on the first drive of the second half, but John Elway's pass for Mark Jackson was intercepted by Mike Walter and setting the Niners up at the Denver 28. And Joe would throw his fourth touchdown pass of the game, Jerry's third touchdown of the game, this time for 28 yards to make the score 34-3 Niners. The Niners again, Chet Brooks would force Another John Elway interception on the next drive, setting the Niners up at the Denver 37. And 2 plays later, Joe would throw his 4th touchdown pass of the game, hitting John Taylor for 35 yards to make the score 34-3 Niners. The next drive, David Treadwell would add John Elway would hit, run it in for 3 yards and a touchdown. David Treadwell would kick the extra point to make the score 34-10 Niners. But that's pretty much matter of fact, that's not pretty much the only thing scoring that the Broncos would do. That was the last scoring the Broncos would do. The Niners would add 2 more touchdowns, both on the ground. Tom Raffman for 3 yards and Roger Craig for 3 yards to complete the biggest route in Super Bowl history, still to this day, 30 years later, beating the Broncos 55-10. The Niners scoring on 8 drives, all touchdowns. That's insane. Joe would finish the game at winning his 3rd MVP in 4 Super Bowls, going 22 of 29 for 297 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks, was sacked 1 time, and rushed for two times for 15 yards. Roger Craig would finish the game as our leading rusher, running the ball 20 times for 69 yards and a touchdown. Tom Raffman, of course, adding 11 carries for 38 yards and 2 touchdowns. Roger Craig would add 5 receptions for 34 yards, and Roger Craig would add Tom Raffman would add 4 catches for 43 yards. And of course, Jerry would finish the game catching 7 passes for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. Amazing. This was truly the Niners' best Super Bowl and proved that we were the team of the decade in the 80s, winning it the last season of the 80s and completing the 2nd best record in team history, going 17-2. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to today's episode of This Date in Niner History. But before we get out of here, I would like to remind everybody to join our Patreon's rewards program. For as little as 10% off, or as little as $1 a month, you can get special perks like 10% off Niner Faithful Radio shop, an invite to join me on a segment of Niner Faithful Radio, and much, much more. Go ahead and visit patreon.com/Niner Faithful Radio. Go ahead and go to SeatGiant.com, use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio, all one word, and save on all theater, concert, sporting, event ticket purchases, as well as helping out the show. That website again is SeatGiant.com, and the promo code is Niner Faithful Radio. Niner Faithful Radio is on YouTube, and we're trying to monetize our channel. So to help do that, we have decided to hold a contest where one lucky subscriber will not only win a ticket to a Niner game and come to Empire Row for the best tailgate in the league, but will also receive a ticket to the Niner Museum, where they'll hopefully get to glaze at that brand new Lombardi that we are going to add on Sunday. All you have to do to win is like and or follow Niner Faithful Radio on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and subscribe. The winner will be announced as soon as we reach 1,200 subscribers, because we already reached 4,200 watch minutes. Shop Niner Faithful Radio shop for officially licensed gear from shop49ers.com, NFLshop.com, fanatics.com, target.com, eBay, and much more. Go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadioShop.com or like us on Facebook, Instagram at Niner Faithful Shop, and Twitter at Niner Faithful RS. Visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com to read all our blogs from Nothing But Niners, Sports Elite, get the show notes to all episodes, and listen to all our interviews with Roger Craig and Ian Williams, as well as see all our advertising and sponsorship packages as well. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's episode of This Date in Niner History. I shall see everybody in a few minutes for this week's episode of Niner Faithful Radio. And again, see y'all tomorrow for our last installment of This Date in Niner History for this season. We'll probably have some pop-ups, but it will be the final episode for the 2019 season. Can't wait. Till then, I shall see y'all. Faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.